Hi there, and welcome to my forever world. I thought I'd start a series where I would share my current world progress and do a little tours, as well as after that, building up the rest of my city and projects I have unfinished. Here I am at my stables for my current project. As you can see, I have a giant castle behind me. I'm calling it my tower castle. And I just got the left side done very recently and have been starting to mirror it, as you can see, onto the right side. But we will not be working on that today. We are starting with viewing as much of my city as we can. So here we go, and we will start the tour here, headed towards the main city. And so the first thing we can see right here in front of us is the viewing point I've made for the castle, so you can just kind of see it straight on and just kind of like get a good view and appreciate how it's coming together. It's been quite a project and I've been having a lot of fun with it. I'm sorry I started it without you guys. I didn't think that I would do this, but here we are. I wanted to point out my road, which is made of andesite, gravel, and stone brick. I normally have it textured up as well, where the andesite is throughout here, and I also have it textured with a little bit of glow lichen to help light it, and it is a pretty good texture with these two blocks, the andesite and the gravel. This here is the first bridge you'll see, and all my bridges are made of similar materials, or the same materials, I guess, just set up in different ways. This is this one. Nice long bridge across the big river gap here. Then as you go further into the city, you can see, well, the rest of the city from here. It's a pretty good view of where I started, which is mainly back in this area is where I started, and worked my way all the way to here, and I'm working my way up to this hill and around the hill. I feel like I really need to address the very large elephant in the room and point out the tree. I built it to world height for some reason, and it's been a long passion project. However, it is kind of hard to work on with my ADHD. A little bit boring for that brain, if you know what I mean. But I do get a little bit worked on each day, so hopefully I will eventually get it done. We'll see. Here's the entrance to my circus that I've created, and right here is like you climb up here and start the elytra course that I had created, and it goes like all the way around my city. Um, right here is the petting zoo I created, just a little one. I think like most fairs and circuses have something like this, at least fairs do, and a lot of this circus is inspired, has things inspired by local fairs. This here is the sign for my circus. It's Cirque de, I have such a hard time pronouncing this still. It's Circus of the Rainbow in French. So I'll hopefully pronounce that for you someday soon in the future. Here we go, and the first thing we'll go to is this little art tent I created here, also inspired from my local fair. They have like a little booth slash tent for the art that locals have created, and I just like that idea, so I thought I'd bring it into my Minecraft circus. Um, as you can see from my world, I am a creative. I love doing creative things and have many creative hobbies as well, which maybe someday I can share with you here or another channel if you guys seem interested. We make it up here where you can see my merry-go-round with the horses all decorated and saddled up so you can ride them. unfortunately it doesn't spin around because it's Minecraft, but you know, you can still get on them. And here is like an open backstage area where like speakers come here to talk and people can sit, and I built it in such a way where it framed the tree because this tree is really important to my world. Like in my lore, the people kind of worship it because it's a super magical tree. And so you'll see a lot of little spruces everywhere throughout the houses and buildings because they have little spruces to symbolize their love and appreciation of the magic tree, I guess. So then over here we have an archery booth, or like one of those ones you can throw balls or something. Um, I found it on Pinterest and I couldn't find like the original creator of it, so I don't have it marked. Same with this lovely juice stand and this cotton candy stand over here I made. I did alter some of them a little, like colors and just some things that I liked better in my style, but or worked with the color scheme I'm working with. So that was nice. And I made this little ice cream stall kind of using that theme, but ice cream instead. So it's like Neapolitan, and then like the top is like a pile of ice cream. Here are my water slides I created, also saw on Pinterest. I really should look harder to find out who the original creators are so I can give them credit. This here is the employee area where they have wagons, which are not complete. I do not have any interiors in them currently. Um, I'm trying to do like the rainbow, so I got red, orange, yellow, and then I got a green, blue, yellow, purple on the other side, but they're not built yet. Then we can go inside the circus, and in the tent we have little nets to catch the, tightrope walkers and the trapeze if they fall. You can see the little seating areas on all the way around the ring, which I created for the ringmaster and like the clowns and stuff to do stuff because they do that inside the ring normally. It's a little small. I could have made this bigger, but I didn't, and we'll learn from that in the future and plan to do better in the future. In here is my panda pen, which is like the staging. This is like a staging area for back here for the circus, and I made like exotic animals. Um, for some reason, a pig showed up here one day, and I haven't taken it out, so he's my panda buddy's pig friend. So, and then down here you got my camel that I got on an adventure, Mel. Hi, Mel. And that was a fun adventure. Um, Over here is my horse pen for all the horses to pull like the wagons and help move stuff because the circus home base is here in Rosewood. Like they come back here at the end of the season and they'll have it set up for a while, but they also do travel because that's what circuses do. So um, that would be the end of the circus, and that would bring us over here to all these buildings. The red in my city symbolizes houses, and the black symbolizes like businesses, but this one's going to be a house. I had it set up to be like a barber, but I got like uninterested in doing that, so I decided it's going to be a house now. We'll start with the first building on the road, and that's my apothecary. All my buildings have interiors. Um, in here, I put all like the little cool plants hanging from the ceiling, and some netherwort for the potions in the brewing stand, some cauldrons, and all the cool plants that we have here in our world. If you go around the corner and up the stairs, you can see the top where the apothecary lives with like a little kitchen and a seating area and their bedroom. Um, See, you can see those trees that are in the houses for worship, like right here. And then up here is like a little balcony with storage that you can kind of look down, well, and kind of just see this bookshelf. But still, it's really good to have height variation in your builds. The next build we will have to go see is this lovely dye shop that I created. You go in here and you can see that I put these carpets on these cauldrons to try to make it look like it's like full of dye. And then I brought in some things that get dyed, like banners, and these are like the main colors through my city. And I put some dies here on these tables. I don't normally use a lot of item frames, but I was having a hard time figuring out how else to display that this is a dye shop. So I made a little bit of concession and put them here. Um, if you go through this door, it goes straight into the house of the dye trader. This is the upstairs. It has a little bit of a bedroom here, just tiny. It needs books in the bookshelves. I think there are a lot of bookshelves in my city that need books that I haven't done. I mean, it's not in my saved hotbars, so I always forget it. So we'll have to go back and do those at some point, probably off camera. Here's downstairs, got like a little area for seating and kitchen again. If you go out this door, there's nothing yet, but I do plan on putting like a little like garden over here and some seating, because it's nice to have a little seating outside when you have a yard room, you know? Not all these houses have yards, and this dye trader is so lucky. So over here's the Cooper's house, and this building will be the Cooper, which a Cooper is a barrel maker. I learned that looking up the different types of buildings that are in medieval cities. So that was pretty cool. So I'll have myself a barrel maker since there's so many barrels in the city. Makes sense that somebody's making them. This will be a clock maker. I have been messing around with like the little clocks. If we go over here into this house, which technically is the clockmaker's house, you can see this is one of the designs I've come up with. This house was designed off of like my friend's favorite colors and wood choice, so I think I did really well with what they gave me, and I really enjoyed making this for them. I gave them their own little like backyard area with like a farm and like a seating bonfire area that's close to this bridge that leads to the Rosewood Sign Cafe, which we should go check that out. Whoopsie, go through the door, silly. But that's this area. It's got a little fireplace, and that's a good show for that. I completely forgot the Rosewood Signs restaurant. We gotta go up here and go across the bridge with like little lamps on it hanging off the edge, and then you go through here, this little open archway area into the Rosewood Cafe. It is behind my Rosewood sign, which I will show you here in a sec. And I like kind of built it into the cave and like made the cave part of it so that it's like this cool like cave cafe. And then here's the little kitchen I've made for it. Well, big kitchen because it's a cafe or restaurant. And yeah, it's a nice little restaurant here. I thought it was really cool building it into like a cave behind the sign. If you go up these stairs and ladders, you get to like the outdoor eating area, which I could have probably done something better to get up here, but that's a later me problem, I think. I don't think I'm going to worry about it now. But here's a nice little seating dining area where you can like look out and see the city, which a lot better than the other view up there. And if you go out here, you can see my Rosewood sign for my Rosewood City. I found this somewhere, this pixel rose somewhere, and I just had to have it for my sign. It looks gorgeous. I did the texturing and stuff myself because it was just a pixel art. As we move on into the city, we'll look over here at my eventually discovered ketchup mustard building. When I was building it, it didn't seem like a bad combo, but now that I look at it every now and then, it's just my ketchup mustard building, that's it. So eventually I might change out the yellow that's on there for something else, but I haven't decided yet. Then we come in here, which is our furniture store. I got like all these table and shelving examples because furniture stores tend to have like the stuff having examples of how to use it. So like a whole bunch of tables in this section, and then we got like just a chair section that just shows off the different types of chairs you can have in your house. Here's the bookshelf section and shelf section, like again with stuff on them to show what you can do with them. If we go upstairs, before we look at the showrooms, we got the little bed section. I don't do a lot of variety with my beds, so that's why it's like this. It's not very um, in depth. I don't really go too far with beds. It's I'm not very creative with those. Let's just say that. And then so we're going into the showrooms, and here is like a dining room showcase showroom, and then over here we have like a seating room with a table here, and then the last showroom here is like a little bedroom showroom showing off a little space to sleep and how that would look if you had all those furniture. If we go up here, this shows off like a little seating area outside the home for the furniture store people um, that own the furniture store. As you can see, a lot of the bookshelves here are missing books. That's a common theme in my city. I need to go back and do that. And that's definitely, if I haven't already said it, a later me problem. If you come out this door, that's the one of the alternate exits to the furniture store. I think that we'll go around this way to start. We only have so much time, so we'll probably won't get the whole city done today. But here's my general store. I tried to do like a nice theme here. I like the colors together. The warped and the oak actually I feel like goes really well together. It's just the colors are nice and complementary in a way to me. I don't know. I think it works better than jungle, even though orange goes better with blue as they are complementary colors. So this is the general store. Here's like a little counter, and it has just like barrels and chests to have the stuff because I didn't want to use too many item frames to like show a variety of items here. If you go upstairs, you get into the living quarters, which is multi-layered. This building's pretty tall, so it got the seating area, kitchen, and then upstairs is the little bedroom area. And there's more of the trees, as you can see, because I'm trying to symbolize that they worship the tree by having it everywhere. At least a few of them in every house and building. So then the next one we have here is just a house. I think it's two houses, one upstairs and then one downstairs. So up here's just the bedroom. So they have the bedroom upstairs, and then the downstairs has all the other um, rooms. So like the kitchen and the living room. So yeah, it's just a small little area. I didn't really dig this house out a lot, so that's why it became so small on the inside. The next building would be the cobbler, which is a shoemaker. I think that the birch always looks really good with the mangrove, and mangrove is like the main color of the city because it's rosewood. So I used armor stands, and I have the vanilla tweaks where I can make them invisible, so it just looks like there's a bunch of cool shoes. And then I have the shoes, some of the shoes behind glass because they're just glass, the best ones. Then they're on display, I guess. And then we will scoot across the street to the tailor. This is supposed to be like clothing, so I used a lot of the leather armor with some armor trims to like make it look like different clothes. And the armor shop, I don't even think I have trims on the armor in the armor shop, but we'll get there. There's a few armor stands inside these like glass cases, so that's probably one of my favorite features of the shop. I like putting the armor stands in glass. It's a nice, fun process for me. And then I made a little park between the cobbler and I believe the hatter. We'll find out. Um, just like a nice little seating area, park area inside the city for people to enjoy some green. even though it's a very green city. I tried to have a lot of grass and trees. I've been working on custom trees. As you can see, some of them are just marked out still. Um, and I was right, it was a hatter next door. So this one's kind of like built up on a hill. So it's got a lot of elevation here. Um, and you can see that I got hats set up inside glass cases and outside glass cases for people to choose from. And then I think up here's where the house is. Yeah, it's just like, it's also got elevation changes in it. I really liked that. I didn't really like it as much downstairs, but I do love it up here. The seating area and the kitchen. It's a very cozy little area for that person to live. And then after the Hatter, I wanted to build a wool shop, and that will be the wool shop owner's house. I also haven't got this one done, but it's supposed to be an herbalist. We're gonna go down here and look at my butcher's freezer. I really like this build here, so I had to show it off. It's got like ice in here and all the meat chunks. I even use this as like a meat chunk too, so it's a nice little fun area to hold the stuff for the butcher who's selling their stuff up here. I know it's a long walk, but our butcher's strong and doesn't mind carrying the meat up the hill. And so here's the little butcher shop with this counter and like meat hanging, and there's little blood spots because meat, when it's not cold, just bleeds. So that is cool. That looks really. I like that feature that you can do that with redstone. Make it look like a little spot. And then I think over here is the entrance to the butcher's house. He gets a lot of walking around his building, so he can really appreciate it, I guess. So here's another building. Oh, I actually got the books and the bookshelves on this one. And so kitchen, seating area, and bedroom. Looks like there's 2 people that lives here. Maybe him and his wife get too hot, so they have to have separate beds. Or maybe he has a roommate and they share a room. Anyways, we're gonna move on to, let's go down here. This is my quarry. It was already a big hole. I kind of squared out, so I kind of kept it the way it was. Made like a sloping road down in here that slopes down into the main quarry. I again think this would be operated by magic, and so it has elevators, and this is like the switch for this elevator, and that's the switch for that elevator, which is I think lower than the other one. I don't know, but one's toggled. This here is like the desk for the elevator operator, so when he hears somebody or gets a notification somehow that he needs to raise and lower the elevators. So we're going to go down this one since it's lowered further, and we can kind of, let's just look at this first floor here. So I have like some of the floors patched up, like it's patched up because it was dug down too far in the spot, and so there's little wings, and I put like geodes and stuff in the wings of and the mines that I've created here, and so they just collect resources, and they've gotten like to here, and all the resources are kind of piled up on the sides for them to collect and bring up the elevators eventually. It's kind of like that all the layers that I've built. So there's quite a few of them. I think that there's even one below the elevator down there, and they all kind of look very similar with geodes and resources piled up. I really liked it. It was a fun project. I would show you everything, but I don't know if that's the kind of stuff you guys want to see in the tours, so I will get feedback on that when people watch this. I have like pulleys pulling the resources up, and they have a bunch of horses, and the same with this pulley up here had these horses as you saw. So that's my little like, you know, quarry area. So that's where the city gets a lot of its stone and metal resources. Then I built this like stable here for the farmer because we're going to go into the farmer's home area. It will probably be the last place on the tour. Um, I had a lot of fun with this one. It was fun going and getting the new animals, the temperate and the cold weather and the warm weather all together in one place is fun. So the farmer, since he has so many farm animals out here, he's got himself a big old farmhouse. And inside, he's got a lot of storage and shelves. There's a big, massive dining table and kitchen. And then he has an upstairs into his bedroom, and there's a seating area up here. Made a little viewing out this windows, which, you got a half decent view out this one, I guess. And then there's like a little balcony here that looks into well, runs into the stable. I probably could have done that differently too. Probably fix that eventually. Then, oh, there's even more, like a little attic here with some more storage space and some paintings. I do a lot of like upper attic storage space in these buildings because storage is good. You need storage. I wish I had more storage in my home. Anyways, we'll get the last few buildings here done. We got like a little workstation area over here with like chests, and you kind of work here with stuff, not like workstations, but like a little work area. And then I have all my, I don't know why I set all my gates up like this, but I think it was so it was easier to get in and I can get out like that, I guess. But now I'm in creative, so I don't remember why I did it. Here's the barn. I really love this barn. It came out really good on the inside. I like that little archway over this and the hay L area where they can get their food and stuff. There's water troughs on either side, and on this side you can get up into the like what do they call this? The upper area, I guess. With the crane to pull resources out of here or put resources in here for feeding the animals. It's like a nice little shelving area over here too. So yeah, it's a nice little build here. Then we'll move on to the coop. I tried to make it look like a coop with like the sloping roof and like mesh-ish in the that matched in the windows. I could have done iron bars, but I just don't think that would have looked as good. Got all the different types of chickens, and in here I have a few get down, a few item frames with chicken eggs, and use the water underneath to make the coral look like nests. I love that. It's so unfortunate that doesn't work when I transfer my world to Bedrock. Here's the pig farm with their slop and their mud, and then their lovely little barn of their own with a slop with a bunch of mud poop or whatever around it because pigs. Um, and then it has a little area up here to look over. It has some storage. So that would be it. Those sheep are part of the wool farm and that farm, so I'll probably cover those in another tour and then move back into the city and finish it on this side, finish this side in another tour. If there's anything more you'd like to hear or see, or any questions you have, go ahead and just let me know, and I will try my best to answer them. Um, Thank you for joining me on this part of the tour. I hope that we can, come again soon and have so much fun together. Um, it was fun to show you what I've done so far in this area and hope to show you some more soon. Um, Hope you have a good time. Bye.